Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is Brother Muad coming to you again on the highway and the byway to bring on this gospel of truth to edify the hopeful elect of Yahshua of Israel, us so-called blacks and Americans and Latinos, to warn the 2/3 of our people of the impending danger here in Great Babylon, America, and they must repent and turn to their Lord and Savior, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, who the word ignorantly know as Jesus and God, and also to let Esau the Edomite, the so-called white man, know that the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is going to send his only begotten Son, the Mashiach, to destroy your kingdom and set up an everlasting heavenly kingdom. Before we get started here, let's turn to these. Give on glory 1 or 2. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors and teachers, others, and apostles, break no stone, likewise, brothers, spit on this truth. Faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep and to brothers and sisters that tuning in. Shalom. And we know what's going on in LA, okay, where you have Trump and his effort to continuously purge the children of Israel, okay? Mainly he's dealing with the Northern Kingdom, okay? But nonetheless, he's coming after all of us. You see, right now, he's looking to send the National Guard out there because he's saying that Jakes are resisting arrest, Jakes are impeding their mission to basically get rid of the undesirable sort of their evil, wicked queendom, Great Babylon, America. Okay, so now he's going to send military troops. And we know that this is just basically a forerunner of these people here in Great Babylon seeing troops on the streets of America, which they were not supposed to be on the streets of America. Last time we saw them activating, you know, the troops here in Great Babylon, America, to deal with crowds was back in the 60s during the civil rights movement. So we have pictures to verify this, you know, where they were sicking dogs on Jakes and all kinds of things was going on. All right? So Esau, the so-called white man, he uses the poorest people, the people who are defenseless, the people that you can easily lie about and say that they commit, you know, atrocities, you know, kidnapping, sex trafficking, or child sex trafficking, drug dealing, and all that stuff. And he pushes all of his wickedness on people that don't have the ability to speak up, because we don't own the media, we don't own anything, okay? Nor do people want to hear our cries. It has fallen on deaf ear, okay? And the only cries that is actually falling on an ear that's listening is the cry of the prophets, the cry of the righteous, okay? The men that you see sighing and crying here in Great Babylon, America. And we've told you, Jace, now let's go into the scripture, and then we're going to talk a little bit more in depth with this, because this is bigger than just them just grabbing you off the street, Jakes. This is way bigger than that. And a lot of you are sleeping, okay? This is 2nd Ezra 16, and starting, let's go to verse 70. It reads, for there shall be in every, let's stop here, let's go back up, let's go up to verse 69. It says, to verse 68, it says, for behold, the burning rod of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. And they that consent unto them shall be hard in derision and reproach and trodden on the feet. Which, you know, basically, you know, they're looking at, you know, the prophets first. You know, they're trying to see how many of us they can grab, you know, and turn our fate around through, you know, them making threats, and, you know, that they're going to take away this, they're going to incarcerate you, they're going to execute you, they're going to make an example of you and all of that stuff. Okay. And, you know, clearly it says here, and they that consent unto them shall be hard in derision and reproach and trodden on the foot. Okay, clearly certain men will actually fall and fall. Okay, because they was never grounded in this ministry to begin with. They were never grounded in the faith. Okay, so the Lord knows who those men are. Okay, but what you have is a lot of Jakes out there that is already right now doing the works of this doggone devil. Okay, when you look at the troops out there, the National Guard troops out there, believe it or not, the California Army National Guard is made up of 35%, okay, of Hispanic and Latinos and so-called blacks. So, you know, and we're going to go a little bit more into that, because you got to ask yourself the question. You know who the target is. You know it's a lie. But you're wearing that monkey suit that called what they call the ACU, okay, for the military. You're wearing that monkey suit and doing the bidding of this devil to go and persecute your own people. So we're going to get a little bit into that because you're going to see how this is not going to bode well for a lot of Jakes that are thinking that they're doing just that, they're doing their job. It says, "But there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord." LA, they're doing it out there in Miami. They're doing it out there in Dallas. In fact, they're doing it in all these cities. They're doing it in New York. Okay. See, what Jason, what they need to understand, what y'all need to understand is this. Jason are looking for one particular period of time, like a day, of when all of this is going to break, all hell is going to break loose on them, and then they're going to believe, oh, well, okay, it's Judgment Day. No. It's over a period of time. It's over a period of time. We've been experiencing Jacob's trouble for a while. It's just going to get more and more and more and more, okay, grievous, okay, and especially after the elect has been sealed, the Lord Yahweh Shemashah is going to let loose, okay, these demons and these wicked spirits on this earth, okay, to judge his on the unbelievers, you know, of his people, okay, and also these other tribes that have been here, you know, assuming that they're in great safety, you know, they're going to be experiencing hell, okay. It says, "They should be like madmen, sparing none, but spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord." Now, why are they going to be destroying those that fear the Lord? Because, again, this doggone devil has a perpetual hatred, okay, for Jake. Okay, he says, "For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire." Now, this is going to be something that's really Jake's going to really have to deal with, because here it is, you work your ass off your house honestly, you've you know, paid your taxes, all these things like that, and you can see here they're going to be like madmen. They're going to be in all these cities and all these neighborhoods and just grabbing Jakes and throwing Jakes out on the streets and basically confiscating their house, because if they can accuse you of being anti-government or terrorist, so to speak, okay, that null and void your rights as a citizen here in Great Babylon, America, to have any type of possessions. So they basically can take it from you. You're going to have these Edomites, okay, who are right now catching hell. They're going to be taking part of that. And one of the things is that you Jakes need to understand is this. You're going to have any doggone Edomite can go. In fact, let me do a lesson on what you need to understand about this impersonation of troops. What they call they go to those. You can go to these where, okay, let's say for example, you can go and you can turn in your old uniform if you serve in the military. You can sell it to these. I'm trying to remember what the hell it's surplus. Okay, surplus shop, and literally you can actually order you know, uniforms online, okay, and especially from these surplus shops, they don't ask for any identification, nothing like that. So you can go to these surplus shops and you can get like these uniforms, okay, and dress the part with the rank and everything. With the rank and everything, all you have to do is just you know, just be able to speak the part, which you can learn online. And what you're going to have is you're going to have a lot of these Edomites that are going to go to the surplus shops, and they are going to get these uniforms and pretend that they're troops. They're going to pretend like they're troops. They're going to go to these surplus shops and get like these old ICE uniform and pretend that they're ICE agents, and they're going to be coming to Jake's house. They're going to be coming to your house. So Jakes, y'all need to be aware of the impersonation of law enforcement, which is going to be rampant, because as soon as you have a major distraction that's taking place here in Great Babylon, America, with the trials, you get the feud between supposedly feud between Trump and Elon Musk. You have the issue that's going on over there with Ukraine and Russia. You have the issue that's going on over there with Israel and Hamas. Okay, and then you have a financial tribulation that's taking place here in Great Babylon, America. You know, where I brought a couple of videos earlier this week in which you were seeing the tears and the cries of these Edomites who's never experienced kind of hell that they're facing right now. Additionally, you have Trump that's cutting down the SNAP and welfare. You know, they have this something called the Big Beautiful Bill. I put a video up there the other day concerning that, in which, in order for them to pay down the deficit or do a lot of certain things, they would have to cut out a lot of the free stuff that they've been giving out to people, where they have been assisting people. They can no longer assist people. On top of that, you have tourism, which actually brings in money to America. Is actually that slowed down dramatically, because the world is seeing that America is a dangerous place to go. You don't think people are watching overseas when they're seeing now, once again, just like in the 1960s, you see now these doggone centuries out there purging, okay, our people. Now, this time around, instead of seeing like the dark-skinned Hebrew Israelites, they're being purged down, which you've seen all the way up to George Floyd, the Black Lives Matter movement, all those things. What you're seeing right now is our light-skinned brown brothers, the so-called Hispanics and Latinos. And Esau right now is giving them an identity. That identity right now is that you're illegal. And we know right now through a lot of the headlines, okay, because as watchmen, we look at the headlines, we look at alternative media, okay, that Esau's commercial media, the ones that he has, you know, set up for themselves, like Fox and ABC and who is it, CNN and all of those, MSNBC, you know, they report the news in such a way that it's an affiliation. So it depends on who they're affiliated with. You have Fox, I think they're like more pro-Trump, okay. MSNBC knows they're more like pro-democratic, you know. So the way they put the news out there, it's very confusing, because what it does is it creates that emotion. In one breath, Esau will have you thinking that he actually cares about you, that he actually gives a crap about you, and in the other breath, or in his physical action, he demonstrates that he has absolute hate for you. And this is the reason why you have to be led, okay, by men whose eyes are open, who've been given this truth. This is the reason why we go only in the scriptures. I just talked to you about the burning rod that's going to be coming on our people, you know, in 2nd Esdras. And you're thinking, because there's still, you know, work, people still going and having cafe lattes, you know, going to the movies, concerts still going around, you know, things are still intact, okay. And this is only to the Jake that don't read the headlines, that it's not concerning themselves, being a watchman for their own household, being a man, okay, not a bitch, not being ruled over by a doggone a woman, okay, whose only concern is if her weave is clean, or she get a new press on nails to go try to impress some other man out there. You're being that watchman for your household, and you're seeing, okay, that sword is coming. This is the reason why we give you the warning of that sword is coming. Okay, this is just the beginning. Esau, okay, Trump is now using Jake as always, okay, which when they want to make laws and changes of legislation here in Great Babylon, America, they use the people okay, to execute those things, those laws. People that are more likely to give reason as to why you want to bring out those laws. For example, we have always told you that Esau is an antagonizer. This man is an antagonizer. He's an antagonist. What he would do is he would push you and push you and push you, okay? Do horrible things to you to get you to react. We see in the case here where they're sending their agents or their false prophets, you know, like Wokab Malone out there in England, to mess around with the brothers out there who were teaching. And you know, the brothers, and they call the cops on them, the sentry on them, okay? We saw yesterday out there in New York, the brothers sent from GMS Solemn Assembly, you know, where they had this Edomite that comes and, you know, bring confusion. And of course, they handle him beautifully. I mean, they handle him beautifully. They handle that beautifully. Loved it. Okay, but we can see here that Esau is an antagonist. Their greatest fear right now is the fact that you have men like us that are awake, that are showing no fear. Now let's go into that part where it says they should be like madmen, sparing none, but spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them in their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they should be tried and thrown in the fire. Now, why is it going to be known? We are aware that this is going to happen. The men of the Lord, we have our mindset on getting the heavenly kingdom. Okay? Yes. You have a house or you have a car and you have, you work your ass off for it like that. But if you know this place is going to be destroyed, why would you give a crap? And so this is going to be, when they do this to us, we understand that this is the will of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, that we will go through this cleansing process. So how you can be a true man if you have your mindset on the possessions that you've achieved here in Great Babylon, America, this is going to be a stumbling block for Jakes. Many of you Jakes are going to lose your life because you are going to try to fight these troops to keep your house. And they're trying to dragging you out of your house that you still owe a mortgage for. Okay, you ain't got no job, but you owe a hefty mortgage, and every doggone year you got to pay taxes, and you're going to fight to keep something that's really keeping you a prisoner here in Great Babylon, America. Okay, mentally and physically, because you have to come up with taxes every doggone year. Where does the tax dollar go? We don't know. But if you don't have your mindset on this kingdom, and you have it set on the heavenly kingdom, when they come and take away your goods, you don't give a crap. You don't give a crap. That's the reason why, roughly paraphrasing, it says, be as pilgrims on this earth. Meaning what? You're going to have to move. There's going to be a lot of persecution that's going to be taking place, especially in these big cities, okay? And the small towns or the small cities are not going to be any better. In fact, there might be those rural areas might be the worst place that Jake can go try to hide, because you are going to have your little buck-tooth doggone Edomite stamp out there, locked down, lock and loaded, because they've been prepping. But, we always bring it out. The Lord Yahweh Shema Shai has put His Spirit in these people to prep food and water for His elect to get. So if you're an obedient child of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, then you would know that you would have to get out of town when you start to see houses getting burned down, when those troops are rolling down the street, blocking the streets. Troops are all over the place there, searching, seizing, grabbing Jakes and just put them in these internment camps. And we've made it very clear, these FEMA camps or these internment camps are real, all right? Real. Let's go into the book of Matthew, because, again, unless your eyes is open, the Lord has opened up your eyes, you would assume that nothing is really happening or taking place. Look at it right now. You see the traffic going right now. These people are going about their business. This is how it is every Sunday. It's nice and sunny. There's no cloud in the sky. People are getting ready right now to either go to some lake to go fishing, or they're going to go in the lake to go lay down, or they're going to have a barbecue today. So it's business as usual. Okay, it says it right here in the book of Matthew 24. Start verse 37. He says, "But as the day of Noah, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be." So now we think about the day of Noah. Noah was out there preaching, okay, for decades about a flood that was going to take place. And people were looking and going, they'd never seen it. They go, what the hell are you talking about? You had the prophets out here right now in these times here, starting with Abba Bidlin, okay, King Mashan, those, okay, who started this. And right now, you see right now, it is expanded to all the brothers across the world that are continuing in the works to let the people know that the sword is coming, And just like with the rain, okay, when we talk about the flood, okay, when it came in as a flood, it started out as rain, like raindrops. And that's mesmerizing certain people because it's different, but at the same time, it's not causing any like major harm to you. The raindrops will not cause any major harm to you. You're not gonna really run out of the like, when it started like just little raindrops. You don't really pull out the umbrella or try to get cover, okay, until that rain really is falling on you. In fact, I'm gonna do an analogy lesson on that, okay. to go into that. Okay, in which, ow, son of a gun, burn myself. You know, you get these things that happen to you like that, but that's okay. It didn't really burn the skin; it just, you know, burned, but kind of woke me up a little bit. But anyways, you have the raindrop right now. In cases when Jake look at it, they have no fear of Esau right now, so to speak, and that's why they're going over there and protesting, because you have only certain people getting arrested. You know, Jake's them who believe that they're American-born citizens believe that this is not going to happen to them. This is only going to happen to who look like someone that doesn't belong here. You know, someone that looks like they do God, you know, something like that. And it's like, no, that's not going to be the case. So they're not looking for that cover, which is Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. It says, for us in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark. I knew not until the flood came and took them away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Okay? So, leading up to the return of Yahushua, you're going to have incidents that's going to be taking place. Like, for example, right now, what you're seeing happening right now out there in LA and across America, okay, you have this purge that's going on, which they call Blitz. Okay? Blitz. ICE are doing what's called Blitz raid. Blitz is basically when you're coming in, basically as it's described right here, as a flood. As a flood. Okay, and that's why Second Ezra said that they were coming, they'll be like madman sparing none. They're coming as a flood. Okay, at our people. So nobody's gonna be able to escape them, because you know, this is what they call blitzing, overwhelming, you know. And this is what Trump is now ordering. This is right now you see troops coming out next, because again, Esau is an antagonist. Okay, so during the time of Noah, when the raindrops started falling, it could have been days when the raindrops started coming down. Let's say it could have been days or even weeks leading up to the actual flood itself, when it actually really started pouring. Okay, everybody was mesmerized and go, oh wow, until they realized, until the water started to get knee high, then waist, then shoulder, and then so forth and so forth. And they got to climb up on top of the house roof and on the mountains and all that stuff, and that's the flood. That's the flood. That's that deluge, and that's how it's going to be. Right now, Jake them are not seeking the protection or the cover of Yahweh Shai, because right now we're in that phase of the raindrops. You know, the raindrops right now. So with raindrops, you're getting a little bit of wet, but in reality, you're not getting soaked. You see what I'm saying? You're not getting soaked. So there's no concern or no worry about it. There's no concern, no worry about it. All right? Let's go into Isaiah. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 9. This is Isaiah 30, starting verse 9. Reads. It reads that this is a rebellious people, lying children that would not hear the law of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy unto us deceit. So Jake them would like for us to come out, which IUIC does a great job with that. They go there and they prophesy deceit. You have Genesis, that group, okay, which is going out there and they're creating these they're creating conflict in the minds of Jake through which doctrine is the correct doctrine. Let's put it this way: if the doctrine is putting you to sleep, or making you have a lack of fear of what the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is going to do to Great Babylon America, to you, if you don't repent, okay, to this earth, then you're getting the wrong doctrine, because the right doctrine is going to teach you the fear of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. The right doctrine is going to tell you about the sword that's going to come. The right doctrine is going to tell you that the people that you have come to learn to trust and depend on for everything, the substances, and, you know, the warrant of everything, are in fact your enemy, and it's going to kill you. Okay? That a heavenly kingdom is going to be set up on this earth by the power, okay, son, the Mashiach, who happens to look like the people that is the most hated, okay, and despised on this earth, in particular the so-called Negro, okay, or the so-called black man. You don't want to believe that because it's too hard to really take. It's really too hard to swallow. Okay, you know, Jake has what they call that Stockholm syndrome. It is too hard for Jake to let go of the old ways. The old ways of walking your head down. The old ways, okay, of just bowing down to every whim, okay, and order of wickedness. I mean, think about it. We as brothers, we sit down and we try to come up with a video. You know, you might see a video. You might have a video or a lesson in mind. You watch another brother lesson, and he goes heavily detailed into it. And it's like, oh man, wow. He said everything I was gonna go say, and you kind of like, oh, do I really go there and repeat the same thing? You know, and you pray to the Lord Yahweh Shemashai to give you the spirit to come up with a lesson or approach a lesson in a manner that's going to be, well, it's going to be a little different. Okay, it's preaching the truth, but it's a little different. You know, you know, Sunday or Saturday, whatever the day is that you come out on the highway and the byway, you know that you're going to come out here to go do this work. But these people, like, think about it. Here it is. You got brothers right now all across the world doing camp right now. You got brothers who's doing a lot of camp yesterday, and then they will go actually into other lessons later on in the evening time. So a whole day is spent in actually, you know, bringing out the gospel. And yes, so what you have a bunch of people out here, the only thing that they wake up to every day is go jump in their car, drive around, what coffee they're going to drink today, who they're going to go see, and gossip and talk and whatever the case is like that. So they live a very jollity life. Their life has no worries in it because they're not concerned about what is going to take place here in Great Babylon, America. I mean, these people really live in complete and utter ignorance. When they say ignorance is bliss, you know, like some of the brothers go into the fact that, you know, when you talk about what Morpheus said to Neo, he said a lot of these people do not want to be unplugged. They want to get plugged. They want to remain plugged. They can't take it. They can't take it. Even Neo, when Neo eyes first opened, he saw what the Matrix really was and what reality really was. He saw that he passed out. He passed out. He fainted. Okay, because it hit him really hard that there was no such thing as nice buildings and jobs, and corporate jobs, and I think in the Matrix he was a tech geek. But in reality, okay, the reality was that he was inside of a tank, being fed people. You know, the Soylent Green comes to mind. Okay, being when you die in the Matrix, you know, they blend your body up into liquid, and then they feed the humans that were inside the incubator. Okay, these incubators actually provided power for these machines to move. Okay, or for these machines to be able to function. So all the while he was inside there, he had been assigned, okay, a job, he had a life, whatever cases like that. And in reality, when he came out, the food was not delicious. The food was it was brutal. It was a brutal life. It was a brutal life, and there was a conflict that was going on. Those who were awake, had a conflict going on against the machine. Esau can be surmised as that, or be, you know, he could be actually that machine. And those who are awake, which is a spiritual man, okay, fighting against that spiritually. Okay, remember, this is not a carnal warfare. This is a spiritual warfare. Okay, so you have from the elders all the way down to every individual brothers who's been given, you know, the Holy Spirit to go and bring out this truth, this gospel, has a duty and has a job. Each one of us has been gifted, okay, with that penny in which we have to go and invest, using the skills that the Lord Yahweh Shemashai had given you prior to you coming into this, prior to you coming into this truth. Whether you're a person that makes movies or put presentations like lessons together. You might be one that likes to, you know, you have a good face. You go on the camera. You know how to really work the camera. You know how to work the comment board. You know how to go into the history you know how to go into the herbs, you know how to go into a whole lot of different things. And so you have those abilities, so you use those abilities to go and feed the elect of Yasharallah. Okay? So they don't want to hear that because they want to continue to be in that deep sleep. The sleep is good. It's comfortable. It's comfortable to do wicked. It's comfortable to just like, oh, we got another holiday coming up. Let's go with that. Okay, that's not my problem. What's going on out there in LA? You know, we're comfortable out here. I got families. I got friends. You know, I still have a job. You know, I still can make ends meet somewhat. You know, and this is comfortable. This is comfortable, especially when they have others who are asleep like them are telling them, I got your back. Do you? Do you? Because I can guarantee you the jakes that were scooped up by ICE probably heard the exact same thing. And then what happened? All the people can do who said they got your back is go there and hold a picket sign and protest and scream and shout. That's all. And you got this doggone Edomite, this devil is about to show you exactly what he's made out of. He's not going to tolerate it. They don't care about what the state or the governor of that state or the mayor of that city thinks in terms of what the federal government is doing. They don't care. And this is why you are going to see that civil unrest that's going to be taking place here in Great Babylon, America, you know, in which, okay, those Edomites who are watching right now, you get like Dabu 7, and you get a whole lot of these other guys out there, okay? And Dabu 7, he could be a Jake. Okay? That's what you get out there. These alternative platforms are coming out, and they're saying, look here, man, what they have done in this country, if they have used the poor people as a means to bring out these, what do you call it, these rules and regulations and laws that goes against the Constitution. That goes against the Constitution. And so some of these Edomites are waking up to that and realizing, wait a minute, they're not benefiting anymore from the system. They're not really benefiting. They're losing their jobs the same way the decision making of their leaders is like that of a drunkard. It's not intelligent, and they're losing out on it too now. It's not only like, okay, these certain people are losing out on it, which is the certain people is us. When we were down and out and don't have jobs and complaining and bitching about it, everybody look and they say, well, basically, you're uneducated, you're lazy. But now, these Edomites who have gone to college, gone to school, you know, have actual skill set, is finding themselves jobless and lacking the ability to make ends meet, they realize, no, it was not about you're being lazy or not having that. It was about a system that was set up to continuously keep a certain set of people down. Okay? And now they're experiencing that because there's a new system that's coming in place here. It's called a New World Order, which what Esau is trying to bring about. Okay? In which everybody is going to feel the wrath of this man. Okay? Really what they're feeling is the wrath of Al Shah. It says, wherefore does say the Holy One, get you out of the way, turn aside of the path, of course, the Holy One of Israel. I'm still back in Isaiah 30. Okay, it says, because you despise the word and trust in oppression, and perverseness and stay thereon, therefore this iniquity should be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breakage cometh suddenly at an instant. So, you see how the Lord deals? Okay? He brings those, he gives you an opportunity to basically make amends, to repent. But then when you bring that judgment, okay, and he'll even show you example of it. Like right now, you think that Jakes will wake up now to the fact that right now they're being targeted by Esau. Okay, that this is the persecution that's coming out of the scriptures. What they don't want to do is they just don't want to believe that what's happening is actually scriptural. They believe that it's just coincident. They believe that it's just only a certain Jakes that happens to scroll up everybody. So because they believe that, they're never going to look at the fact that all the things that's happening, all the things that's taking place, all your tribulations, all your pain, your sorrows, the hell that you're catching, it's the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai bringing it on to you. Okay, and he's going to do it. He's being merciful, in fact, because you still have the elect that's still among the people out there that are lost in this world. We were out there lost in this world. Okay, each and every individual brother can let you know, okay, or can tell you of that time when it was in the world fallen Christianity. Okay, or when you first come into this ministry, okay, you might have come into this and know your Hebrew Israelites, your IUIC or ISUPK. You know, that's how I learned. Was from them. But did I learn anything from them? No, I didn't learn anything from them. They weren't about warning. They were about showboating, you know, telling jokes. Okay? So they were about amusement. That's all I learned from them. So eventually I just stopped watching them. I started looking, seeking until I came across Great Millstone. And when I came across Great Millstone, I knew I had the truth, because when the first camp that I watched in Great Millstone was the brothers them out there in Alabama, Mysteries of the Kingdom, the trilogy. That was my first introduction to the truth. And I knew I had the truth when they opened up and they gave glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. That name, it resonated with me. I was like, that's it. Okay? It took me 6 months to learn how to say it. 6 months. 6 months it took me to learn how to say it. Okay? But I had fear. Like never before when they was preaching. I had fear. So we always in the world, we always kind of somewhat knew something was off. We just couldn't figure it out. And that's when you think about that, if the Lord wants to keep you blind, there's nothing that anybody can do about it. There is nothing that you can do about it. You ask yourself how the hell I was chasing my tail, how the hell I didn't see this. All the degrees you have, all of that life experience, all of those things you have, and you went out, some brothers, and I can speak for myself, went after all of the degrees and all of the certifications, and I was trying to be everything in this society. I was very disciplined out there. And how did I not see it? How did I not see it, what I'm seeing right now? How did I not see it? I had a feeling, but I couldn't fully decode it. I couldn't decode it. Okay? And so the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai has to choose you to see everything as it really is. But man, I was just like everybody else out there. I lived in the La La Land. I did. I really lived in La La Land, man. Okay? But with a lot of negative experience out there like that, I scratch my head quite often, wondering like, what the hell, why were certain things happening? Because of those things like that. So this is where you have a lot of the people that are still blind in this world, because the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai has not opened up their minds to see the truth, to see things as it really is. They're concerned about small little things. People walking around, with a dog. I mean, seriously, just the simplicity of these people is beyond belief. Okay, let's go into the book of Ezekiel. This is the book of Ezekiel 35, and let's go to Ezekiel 35, and let's start with verse 1, because again, right now you see the accusation that's taking place right now against the prophets. They're trying to label us as racist. Yeah, whatever. They're trying to label you as black supremacist, which is like, yeah, whatever. Okay. Let's get something straight here. We are the chosen, we are the elect of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, the whole tribe of Israel. Okay, is the chosen people. Okay, the Mashiach, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, actually told us that we are gods, but we will die like men. So we can't feel, we have to eat, breathe, all the other stuff. We succumb to illnesses and all the other things that you mere mortals do. Okay? We are the ones that the Lord will have the mercy on and give and have us inherit the earth. Esau, okay, who's the son? Who also is a child of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Okay, he gets to have his time right now, and guess what? We have to serve him through bondage. We have to serve him through slavery. We have to serve him through. And you see when I flash a camera at certain times when I do camps, you see where I show a collage of pictures, okay, on this poster that I created, you know, of a lot of the heinous things that Esau has done. Now, what people don't like is they don't like the fact that you're awake and that you don't accept this man, okay, as your savior. You don't accept this man as the end all, be it all. You are saying basically what he really is, which is basically an abomination created, okay, a hireling that the Lord Yahweh Shai created and put on this earth to do exactly what he's doing. Drop bombs on kids out there in the Middle East, rape, pillage, murder, rob, okay, and completely and utterly destroy this earth. That's what he was created to do. He was created to be evil. He was created, okay, to be an opposition to righteousness, an antagonist, okay? We are the protagonists. See, people don't like it. People don't like the fact that right now we are not walking with our heads down, that we are boldly speaking against the wickedness of this earth. And we also let you know on Jakes who on the side with them know that siding with him is not going to save you from the wrath of the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai. All you have proven is that you are a double spineless, weak coward. That's what you all have proven yourself to be. Spineless, weak cowards. And by the time you realize that you should have stood your ground, okay, and stood out here just like the rest of us do, with your time that you had, okay, to serve the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai, instead you cower down, okay? Cower down, tuck your dick between your damn legs like a doggone bitch, okay? You do nothing. And that's why we're gonna laugh at you when this calamity comes. This is why we're gonna laugh at you. This man is grabbing your ass and kicking you and burning your house down, and grabbing you and dragging you to the house screaming. We told you doggone Latinos and Hispanics that this man hates your ass, and you laughed at it. I told you I've had encounters with them at camp where they said that basically they talk about so-called blacks all the time at the dinner table, how we're catching hell, how the white man always purging us. Well, now you're getting that purge. Now you're getting that purge. You're getting that judgment. You now have to worry you don't get pulled out of your doggone car driving out the highway and the byway. And it's going to happen more and more and more and more and more. So these people driving around here right now, which is mainly Hispanics, they feel like, well, it's not happening to me. And this is the typical mindset of people in Great Babylon in America. If they're not catching hell, then they don't worry about it. It's not their problem. Yeah, it is going to be your problem. It is going to be your problem because bottom line is there's a judgment that's coming to Great Babylon in America in the form of the famine. Okay, people are going to use the sword because of the great famine that's going on here. There ain't gonna be no hospitals to save your life if the medical professionals are being put to death or put in the spirit world on their way to work because people are desperate. People are seeing you. You look like you have something. All right. We're gonna go into that because, you know, I got some arrogant neighbors. So arrogant, okay, so arrogant that they leave boxes and boxes of goods and stuff in front of their house because they feel like they live in such an incredibly good place, so they believe that the rest of their neighbors are going to be looking out for who goes and rob it. They don't understand it's inviting people. It's putting spirit of temptation in people who are right now falling on hard times. But see, they feel secure. Okay, this is Slakia. This is Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 1. This is our job right here, and we're not as good watchmen and as obedient servants of Yahweh Shai. We're not gonna shun away, okay, from doing the work, but doing as we are commanded. It's always a pleasure to come out here, okay, and come out here and basically bring it out, okay. Because at the end of the day, we want to see the judgment on this man. says, moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh Shemashah came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, which is one of the many names of this place. Idumea, Edom, Mount Seir, okay? Great Babylon, of course, Chaldeans, all those, okay? And say unto it, thus said the Lord power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. Desolation, okay? Separate from the rest of the world. Separate, okay, from being comforted. Separate from being inclusive, okay, in the grace of Yahweh Shemel Shai. This place is the only place on this earth that has been foretold to be utterly and completely destroyed. This is going to be the future Jurassic Park. I mean, it even talks about dragons and all kinds of, you know, exotic creatures, you know, that's going to be over here. So, you know, I always like kind of think in my head like that, like when we flying either in one of the chariots that we're gonna have, you know, that's gonna be our form of travel. Some of us maybe we're probably gonna be able to fly just like fly, but let's just say for reality's sake, we're probably most likely gonna be traveling in chariots. You know, you have the kids, you know, and just fly over Great Babylon, America, you know, and you know, look at what happened to a nation that's been against the throne. Okay, this is gonna be better. Looking over the destruction of Great Babylon, America is gonna be better than any doggone amusement park that Esau has created. Okay, because it's gonna be a real thing, man. Real ruins. Everything just burnt down. I mean, you know, exotic creatures. There gonna be nothing left. It says, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh Shemashah. Because thou wast out of perpetual hatred, and thou shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that the iniquity had an end. We were given this cup. We weren't supposed to drink of this cup, actually. And he said, yes, you are going to drink of this cup. We got this cup, you know, to drink from. Slavery, punishment, humiliation. See, what you people don't understand is this, is that you people on this earth have not experienced what it's like to be the so-called black man. You know, one of the most horrible days I had in my life, when I realized I was a black man. I was a black man. I realized I was a black man. And you know how I realized I was a black man? Because he's Edomite. Because of the part of the country where I lived, up in New England. They opened my eyes to see that I was just a black man. All the while I thought I was equal, I thought I had equal opportunity, I thought I was gonna be judged by my character. Nope. See, people don't understand the pain and the trouble and the tribulation that the children of Israel has gone through. The real children of Israel. And this is not the first captivity we've been in. Okay, we've been in multiple captivity. This is our final captivity. It's actually coming towards the end. Brothers can feel it. I can feel it. What I feel is basically our captivity is coming to the end. Judgment is coming to Esau, okay, and the rest of these other tribes that have sat on the sideline and benefited, okay, from our downfall. Okay, they now are catching hell. Well, you think the kikes over there dropping those bombs and those Hamas and out there in Gaza, they're not innocent. Okay, that's the Lord judging their ass. They had their fingers in the pot too when he was in slavery. Okay. Them Ishmaelites and them Ishmaelites, they had their finger in the pot too. Okay? So when World War III takes place over there in the Middle East and Saudi Arabia and Dubai and all of them getting all smashed up in pieces and shit like that, you know what? Okay? Let our enemies feel our pain. He says, because I was out of perpetual hatred, perpetual meaning never ending hatred for us. Shed our blood. Okay? Need we go into hell, go on examples. Yes, so they want you to forget about that. They want you to join hands and let's get along and let's just move forward with it. Okay, didn't Jake try that? You said let's move forward. Did not Jake try that with the civil rights movement, with the Black Lives Matter movement? Jakes have tried all that. Jakes, come on, Jakes. This man is playing you for a fool. He's playing you for a fool. They don't want you to be mad. They don't want you to be mad. They don't want you to speak the fact that they're going to go into slavery. They don't want you to speak the fact that they're the devil that the Bible speaks of. They don't want you to speak the fact that those are phony ass people, Jewish people over there in the state of Israel, not the kingdom, okay, or the heavenly kingdom that we are going to be in. Priests, you know, and lower level gods in, okay. They want you to continuously hold your head down and accept what this man has done. But the Lord is saying what? In the time of their calamity, in the time that they had iniquity had an end, therefore as I live, said the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Said thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. You Edomites better be prepared. Like I said the other day, in my video I put up the other day, prepare your mind to go into slavery. But before that, you Edomites need to prepare your mind, okay, and the fact that you're going to be shedding each other's blood. You're also going to have your blood shed by these other tribes, because there's going to be a World War III. And you also are going to have your blood shed by doggone 2/3 Jakes who are going to fight you back. Okay? What you're going to see is going to be taking place here with this purging that's going on right now again in LA and other cities. LA right now is going to be ground zero for where Trump is going to test out what happens when you bring out the National Guard or the military troops on the street of America. And if that is accepted, you're going to see that duplicated all across America. Okay? And it's going to become a common thing. They're going to go into these different cities and they're going to antagonize people, antagonize sheikhs right now through this ICE blitz, which is basically grabbing up people without due process. You saw those Edomites, you saw them grab the sledgehammer and smashing out the car windows. Smashing out the car windows. I mean, they're taking pleasures in this, man. Okay, and you Jakes that are working along with these Edomites as a law enforcement. You can't see that they're looking at you and they're basically punking your ass, man. You think about it. Here you are, you're a so-called black ICE agent, or you're a so-called Hispanic or Latino ICE agent. And you're seeing these doggone white boys, they're grabbing your people that look like you, accusing them with no due process, grabbing them, slamming them on the ground, beating them, putting their feet on their neck, on the stern, on their lower back, hurting them, hog tying them, you know, pepper spraying them and throwing them inside vans to go take who the hell knows. And they're talking about the fact that those holding places, okay, there's a reason why they have those people out there, because some of those holding places have only the ability to they only can hold a capacity of like maybe 50 to 75, but they're packing 300 Jakes inside these facilities. 300. Now you ask yourself that question. As soon as I saw that, that reminded me of how they was packing Jakes to bring Jakes over here, okay, on the slave ships. They was packing this like sardines. I have a picture of it right here. In fact, I probably can go into a lesson in regards to that. So you can see right here, packed like sardine. The reason why I write these down is because Los Angeles detention. I write these down is because I write down these things when they come in mind to do a lesson, because a lot of time you don't have you're like coming up with a lesson, and you have these thoughts coming in your head from a subject that you're talking about or brother's talking about. You write it down so that you can do a future lesson. And those of you who watch my videos, I use animation, AI, presentation type style. To do my lessons. It's just how I do it. I learn through visuals and hearing. I'm not a great reader. I was never a great student. I just wasn't. I wasn't a good student. Okay? As far as I studied. So I learned through visual and hearing. And that's how I learned. And that's how I got through school, that's how I got through college, everything. That's how I got through the academy, all those things I went through. I never really actually opened a book so much, so to speak. I fall asleep as soon as I open up one. continuing. He says, thus I will make most desolate and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. And I will fill its mountains with his slain men, in thy hills, and in thy valleys, and all thy rivers, shall they fall that are slain with the sword. So you're going to have an invasion here in Great Babylon, America, which you have foreign troops. You also have sleeper cells that are here. This talks about something big is about to take place. Something to take place. And you find like the head of Homeland Security, you know, even Secretary of Defense, talking about that there's something like a 9/11 that's going to be taking place. They're going to do something that's going to kill a lot of people for real. Simultaneously, they're going to release probably pathogens out there in the air that's going to make a lot of people sick. That can probably be like flesh-eating bacteria or certain things, something that's going to be so horrific. It is going to be where they're going to be able to say, okay, we're going to have to put troops out there. You're going to see troops out there with gas masks on. It's going to be terrible. You're going to have what's called, curfews. You're going to have curfews. You're going to have a lot of insurrections. So at the same time, while all of this is going on, they're going to be going after Jakes, because you're going to have like the lack of electricity, you know, running water. Things are going to get tough, and this is why you women need to get the hell in order, because in reality, you're not going to make it out there. You're going to become victims to a whole lot of men out there that have devious fantasies of what they want to do to a woman. Okay? It doesn't matter if you're a little girl, it doesn't matter if you're a full-grown woman, or your grandma is so sick demons out here, individuals. Okay, we like to call them demons, because they are possessed by demons. And this is going to be that judgment of the Lord Yahweh Shemashah is going to be bringing on the people here in Great Babylon, America, on top of the fact that he's going to open up that dimension and let these people see these spirits. Okay? Let's talk about the fact that there's going to be people who, they're going to be spirits, like manifestation, okay, of spirits. Poltergeist, basically. Okay? It says, I will make thee a perpetual desolation, and thy city shall not return, and you shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Shemashah. So once the Lord Yahweh Shemashah starts a judgment on Great Babylon, America, there's not going to be rebuilding. Okay, make America great again is not going to happen. That was the case right there. We would see an improvement. There is no improvement here in Great Babylon, America, since this man has been, okay, and sitting in the wicked seat. All you were seeing basically is what? More heartaches after heartaches. Okay, or headaches. Okay, people, you know, who thought that there was going to be a change for the better is now experiencing worse than before. Okay, and the thing that we like to let you, Jakes, them know is that we are in a time right now where the Lord is visiting this earth. There's great judgment. Okay, and He's going to start off with us, because who's given the laws? We were given the laws. You're being given a warning of the sword that's going to be coming. Okay, yet still, you don't take heed. And do you know why you don't take heed? You don't take heed. I've had several cars pull up in the back of me. You know, they come and they look at me, and that's it. Because all they see you is they see you as just, you know, we're out here being marked. People walk and they drive straight, they don't care. Maybe the camera or the fact that they know I'm recording is probably causing them to stay away, but you know what? It doesn't matter to them, because, again, they can eat. They're not interested in looking at the signs. They're not interested in looking at all the signs and the posters that are created that illustrates the judgment of the Lord Yahweh Shemashah is going to bring here in America, of the things that's taking place. Articles, news articles that we go into. Okay? So when we come out here, we're prepared to let the people know in real time what is taking place and how this pertains to the scripture. And if you can get it that you are the children of the Most High Yahweh Shemashah, and that these things will happen to you according to the scriptures, then you would know that you need to repent. But this isn't. Our people don't have no respect for us, and especially if you're a so-called black man, nobody has respect for you. Nobody wants to hear you. Nobody cares about you. Your life is valueless here. And so when we come out as a so-called black man, and see, the Lord did it that way. Okay? He raised up a man that people hate the most. Us dark-skinned men. Okay? Because he knew a lot of people would just despise us. You get the so-called white man wants to come up to you proud as hell, unread, ignorant, uneducated, wants to come up and try to force his opinion. It's not even scriptural. His opinion, okay, on brothers at their camps, okay, because he wants to make himself feel superior, okay, and he wants to go in that Christian dogma, that Christian doctrine, okay. How dare you speak against the white Jesus and everything the so-called white man has set up in your ignorant ass head, okay, as to what you should be following. And they don't like it. And these are peasant Edomites. They're worthless, just worthless. In that mindset of superiority. And they can't stand it that you are thousands of times smarter than they are. You know the scriptures. You know what's happening. You cannot be persuaded. And brothers are just handling them because it's like, you know what? This isn't 5 or 10 years ago like that. We're in that time right now. Here, there's most of you doggone piss and doggone Edomites. Can't even feed your damn self or pay your own bills, so you still want to walk around proud and think you can walk up to a brother's camp, okay, and put your perspective on him, and open your big mouth and talk shit, and think that we're just going to stand up and just listen to you, okay? And they don't like it, but you are a man like us, we're not going to listen to your ass. You understand in this ministry, that is a part of it. Just like if you strap on the uniform or you're a cop, chances are you can go there, you can get deleted. You can get put in the spirit world. You're not guaranteed to go back home. So we come out here in faith, okay, to do this work. We understand that yes, okay, our life is on the line. But that's part of the ministry. We've been told, okay, to stand bold until even if death comes, and you get a crown of life. So where do you weak ass, sick ass little fucking shit think you can just get off out to come out and walk up here? See, people know when they come up here, there's order. You're not going to hear the most popular thing. You're not going to hear the most popular thing, okay, that you hear in these holler churches, okay, where you have the big Virgin Mary picture, which look like a doggone Becky, okay, with a little red baby. It's a different song. This song is about salvation for us and death and destruction, okay, for everybody else that is not, okay, under the grace of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right? I'm not going to be out here too long. Let's go into let's go to 2nd Esdras 15, and we're going to close over with that. 2nd Esdras 15. 2nd Esdras 2nd Esdras 15. Make sure I can see here. Let's go to the book of 2nd Esdras 15. Start off with verse 8. I like to close over the judgments, okay, of Great Babylon, America. Okay, this is Sound verse 7. This is the book of 2nd Esdras 15, Sound verse 7. It reads, "Therefore said the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching the wickedness which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood cry unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually." Okay? So who's complaining continually? That's us. When we come up with these lessons, that's us complaining. When we come up with the unrighteous doings of Esau, that's us complaining. When we come out and we show the atrocities that this man is committing on this earth, that's us complaining. When we talk about the news, okay, that demonstrates that this man, okay, has only one purpose in life, and that is to destroy the the children of Israel. That's us complaining. Okay, we are complaining about the hellish condition that we're in. We're complaining about an unjust and an unrighteous ruler. That's all we do. Every lesson is complaining to the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, crying, how long, how long, how long, how long do we have to endure? That's why we have to endure. Okay? And therefore, said the Lord, I will surely avenge them. So we are guaranteed that there's going to be a vengeance. And receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Okay? I open up about what's going on in LA. That is going to get bloody. When this man says he's going to bring his military force one way or the other, they can have, you know, what they call a Manchurian, or they can have someone that's made up to look like a doggone Jake, fire a bullet at the National Guard or fire a bullet at those agents. Okay, sparking a shootout and killing in the street, in which they can turn around and say, you know what? And they can turn around, hey, you Jakes are in the National Guard. Okay, you Latinos and stuff like that, man. Y'all better watch it because y'all could be very well the ones that they sacrifice. See, Esau is very slick in his way and how he does things. They hate you, but when you turn around, you wear that uniform, you'll get thank you for your service. You walk into a restaurant, you'll get thank you for your service, and they'll actually even pay for your food. I know this for a fact because it has happened to me many times. Okay? I've had my food bill taken care of when I've gone to the restaurant in a uniform to go eat. All right? So they'll do that. So that's because you're serving a purpose. But do not underestimate the wickedness and hatred this man has for your ass. They will sacrifice you, doggone Latino, Hispanic, or Negro Jakes that are in uniform by having an agent amongst the people protesting, okay, who might fire bullets specifically to kill you, to kill National Guard soldiers so that the National Guard can turn around and shoot back. Now they're saying that they're not out there for the purpose of arresting and stuff like that, but let's be realistic, and I can go into details about the different units out there in the National Guard, and many of those National Guard units, they have MP units, okay, because it's an infantry. MP units, and a lot of those MP units, the sergeants or the commanders or the service members are actually law enforcement in the civilian sector. So on drill weekend, the soldiers during the rest of the week or the rest of the month, when they're not drilling, they're law enforcement. They are law enforcement. And it wouldn't surprise me if Esau turns around and puts like a agent in amongst the people protesting and have them fire a gun that's going to kill a couple of National Guard soldiers. This, of course, will spark anger and hatred, especially people who are really all about this, you know, deportation thing. Okay, they can say, see, they're violent. See, they kill soldiers. See, that's the only time they can try to make your life actually mean something, is you in that uniform, and they can use your death as a means to really do what they really want to do, okay, which is to open up fire on Jakes who are out there protesting. So I don't know, it's just something that came in my mind. So if you're a Jake and you're in the National Guard and you haven't put that monkey suit down yet, you might want to insist that you are wearing body armor. Okay? Real body armor, not the fake training plates that they give you. Okay? Because they're going to use at least a 5.56. Okay? Maybe you hollow tip, whatever the case is like that, to penetrate, to go through. All right? You might want to consider that. It says, and therefore said the Lord, I shall surely avenge him, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people are led as a flock to the slaughter, and I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. But people are led to led like a flock to the slaughter because you have a lot of false teachers, you have a lot of false leaders, and a lot of paranoid cowards. That's why the Mashiach, he said, basically, you're not going to If you're a coward, a faggot, sodomite thief, a rebel, a whoremonger, you're not going to inherit the kingdom, meaning you're not going to be part of that elect. He hates cowards. The Lord of hosts, man of war. Okay? And you love many, many brothers. They'll post scriptures online or whatever case it is. The cheerleaders or whatever. You know, hoping to maybe get a wrench on one of the brothers on page, you know, and that's their achievement right there. But one step, the monkey ass out here to go do this work face. If you can post scriptures, you can come on, you can read it and break it down. So if you're posting it, then you must know what it means or how it applies to that lesson. That means you can come out here and you can break it down. Okay? You dudes better stop playing. You dudes better stop playing. You know exactly who the hell you are. You better stop playing games, okay? Stop playing games. And it says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. So this is known as spiritual sort of Egypt. You know the plagues that took place in Egypt, which cattle's dying, jack rates, famine, okay, you have darkness, you have a whole lot of other things that's going to go take place. Contaminated water, okay, water turning to blood. All these things are going to take place here in Great Babylon, America, and basically the Lord is saying he's going to smite this place with plagues. Okay? It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten in the plagues, and punishment that power shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for the sea shall fail through the blasting of hail, and with a fearful consolation. We are seeing that fearful consolation right now because what's happening? People are working their ass off, and they're saying, and they realize that they can't make it. That's why you see these Edomites are crying and going, they're working 2-3 jobs, and they can't make ends meet, they can't pay their bills. A bag of groceries is like $300 now. Okay? Everything is going up exponentially by 50% or even 100% or even 300%, but your paycheck stays the same. So now they're crying. They're crying because they know it's just only a matter of time. And it's about to get worse, people. It's only a matter of time before the bank robbed and repossess their house and out in the streets. And the same people that they had looked at before and scorned and ridiculed, now they're now part of that people. Like I've always said, these Edomites are not going to take this laying down. They're going to get out in the streets and they're going to get very violent. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and the destruction draw it nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. This is what these Edomites are referring to. When we tell you that your neighbor is going to possibly come around and invade your house for food and water, you better take it serious. Okay? They've been smiling in your damn face all the while. Oh, are you talking about what groceries you buy and what you get, and you let them come over in your house and see what you got and all that stuff? They're gonna have a picture. They're gonna have a mental picture that now they know where to come, and they ain't coming by themselves. They're gonna be coming with doggone help. They can call their family and say, "Hey, I know where we can get some food." My next door neighbor. So a lot of time they're looking at you and seeing if you the type of character that's willing to defend your household, that's willing to put them in the spirit world. Okay. So these are the times right now where being a nice guy is just really not really the way to go. Let people know they can't approach you. Don't be such a nice guy. Let them know, no, you're not a friend. I'm not your motherfucking friend. Do not approach me. I don't want to talk to you. Because it says right here, for there should be seditions amongst men invading one another, and they should not regard the kings nor princes, and because their actions should stand in their power, which is when everybody realized that this whole smoke screen that Trump is bringing up about immigration, you know, and deporting illegals, and he's going to bring up the National Guard to deal with them. Okay, it's bullshit, and that it's all about them, the federal government, bringing out service members out there on the streets. Okay, they want you to get used to it. You doggone Edomites, they want you to get used to it. So they use the people that you don't give a crap about. That's why they always use so-called blacks, okay? And now they're using the so-called Latinos and Hispanics under the guise of immigration reform or immigration or deportation in order to get you conditioned to being used to seeing troops. There is no reason for Donald Trump to bring out the National Guard out there. There's no reason. You're the antagonizer. You went out there, you're antagonizing the people. You're going against the constitutional rights of the people here in Great Babylon, America. You're the one that's going out there and grabbing people up, smashing their car windows, grabbing out their houses, and not giving them due process, which is the way the system was set up to give due process. Okay, you're the one that's doing that, and now you just want to you want to justify calling in your troops out there, okay, so that you can get create a situation in which, okay, you sacrifice some of them so that you can go and see this is what I'm talking about. They're bad people. They're bad people, and now all over Great Babylon, America, this man can now send his troops to be very heavy-handed with you doggone so-called blacks and Americans and Latinos here. But y'all rather sleep, y'all rather hear good things, you ignore the prophets, and that's okay. Okay, Lord willing, be left, satisfied, close to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash, Shalom.